Nancy Kotkin writes for children and young adults. One of her novel chapters won first place at the 2010 Philadelphia Writers Conference. She is currently pursuing her MFA in creative writing and MA in publishing, both from Rosemont College. She has taught at Temple University, Rosemont College, and various community colleges. In addition, she has spoken at numerous regional and national conferences on topics related to e-learning and instructional design. Nancy is the former president of the Philadelphia Metro chapter of the Society for Technical Communication. Wow, that's impressive. And a founding board member of the PA, New Jersey, Delaware chapter of the United States Distance Learning Association. Please welcome Nancy.
So this is a still unfinished young adult novel, and the genre is paranormal. I'm going to read two excerpts from two different chapters. Jonathan paces back and forth behind the cemetery gates, his anxiety heightened by a loose dog running around barking frantically. Maybe Amelia won't show up today. Maybe he'll be spared the awful guilt he's carried since yesterday. He should never have pretended to be that girl's mother. On the other hand, it made her smile. It was the first time Jonathan has seen Amelia smile. She has a truly awesome smile. The terrier dances around the headstones. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Hey fella, what are you doing in here? Are you lost? Jonathan bends down to check for a collar on the dog, but the animal yelps and tears off into a patch of headstones. Suit yourself. Jonathan resumes his pacing. Wait, here she is, carrying that heavy bag with all her equipment. He follows a safe distance behind Amelia until they reach her mother's marker. She removes all the paraphernalia from her bag and sets everything up on her mother's grave. At the sight of the Ouija board, Jonathan crosses his arms over his chest. He won't answer her. He won't. She lights the candles, moves the plastic pointer to the space marked hello, then spells out her mother's full name. Jonathan runs his hand through his hair. He will not answer her. I hope you're in a talking mood today, Mom. I need some advice about boys. Jonathan perks up and creeps closer to her. I tried asking Janie, but she really doesn't know any more than I do. I even asked Dad. You'd think he'd have a clue since he was a boy, but well, he seems to have forgotten an awful lot since then. Jonathan knows what it's like to be a teenage boy, but no, she wants advice from her mother. How can you tell when a boy likes you? Jonathan's an expert on this very subject, but he won't answer her. You see, there's this boy at school. Oh, he's all that. He's cute, he's smart, and he's on the swimming team. I really like him. Jonathan's gut twists. And I kind of think he may be into me too, but I'm not sure. He will not answer her. So there's this Sadie Hawkins dance coming up at school, you know, where the girls are supposed to ask the guys, and I'm thinking about asking him, but the pointer shoots over to the space marked no. Oh, he hadn't meant to do that. Oh, really? Why not? Don't answer her. Amelia cocks her head to one side. I haven't even told you which boy it is, but I guess you already know that. Don't answer. Mom? Jonathan hears Amelia's voice rise with worry. He sighs and moves the plastic pointer to the space marked yes, then spells out, not right boy for you. Whoever it is, he's not good enough for Amelia. So who should I ask to the dance then? Because I really had my heart set on going with Marcus. Jonathan moves the pointer to the J. Don't be ridiculous. You cannot take this girl to the school dance. He shifts the pointer to the question mark instead. On his third lap around the cemetery that night, Jonathan leans on the oak, thinking about Amelia, wondering which boy she will ask to her school dance, knowing it won't be him. Why, oh why, did he get on the back of Luther's bike after all that booze? What's eating you, Plasma Boy? Jonathan swivels around to face Luther. He hardly recognizes the eerily pale, chiseled features of his former friend. Hello. Jonathan loathes sharing the graveyard with his kind. You're restless tonight. What gives? Jonathan shrugs. Nothing. Luther nods. Well, I'm off to find myself some fun. Jonathan suppresses a wince. What he wouldn't give to leave the graveyard, just once. Like to Amelia's school dance with her. See you around, Plasma Boy. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. His nasty laugh rings in Jonathan's ears long after Luther departs the cemetery. And like I said, this excerpt is from a later chapter. It's still, however, in the graveyard. Amelia glances at her watch. Oh no, look at the time. I have to go, Mom. I don't want Daddy to wonder where I am. If I don't come home for dinner, he'll send out the National Guard or something. I won't be able to visit you if I'm grounded. She moves the pointer to the space marked goodbye. Jonathan spells out, talk tomorrow? Amelia moves the pointer to the space marked yes. Jonathan smiles while he moves the pointer to goodbye. Amelia stuffs the Ouija board, candles, and herbs into her bag and heads down the cemetery path towards the gates. Jonathan watches her go, still smiling. Forget about it, Plasma Boy. She's out of your league. Jonathan spins around to see Luther lounging against a nearby mausoleum. What are you doing out in broad daylight? I can roam consecrated ground anytime I want. I've had enough rest for the day. He leers at Amelia's retreating back and rubs his hands together. I'm ready for some action. Leave her alone. Luther scoffs. Who's going to make me? Certainly not you. Don't push me, Luther. I'm not in the mood. Luther's eyes travel down the translucent, wavering form that is Jonathan. Pitiful. At least I'm not a blood-sucking leech like you. Only because you're a coward, too weak to grab a body. Or a girl. Jonathan focuses on a thick limb of the oak. It breaks off and swings at Luther, hitting him in the back of the head. He lurches forward but catches himself before he falls. Oh, so you want to play rough, do you? No, Luther, I don't want to fight. Just leave that girl alone. I told you, Plasma Boy, she's out of your league. You haven't even got a body. Or any blood. Luther's nasty laugh spills forth. If Jonathan had any blood, it would be boiling right now. With the speed that only the undead can manage, Luther catches up with Amelia. Jonathan fades and reappears by Amelia's side on the cemetery walkway. She shivers and rubs her arms. Yes, a wretched breeze seems to have blown in. Amelia jumps and turns toward the strange voice. I don't believe we've met. I'm Luther. He extends his hand. Hi, I'm Amelia. She hesitates, then briefly shakes his proffered hand. I was just leaving, actually. My dad's expecting me home for dinner. Allow me to walk with you. Luther flashes a smile at her, retracting his fangs. Jonathan clenches his fists at his sides. So visiting someone special? Amelia looks straight ahead. My mom. Sorry to hear she's departed. You obviously miss her very much. Amelia nods silently. She hugs herself. Luther glares at Jonathan. Yes, we could use a bit of warmth around here. Jonathan sticks his fist on his hips. He isn't moving an inch away from Amelia, not while Luther is still hanging around. Luther turns back to Amelia. Wouldn't it be something if we could visit our departed loved ones? I do visit my mom, every chance I get. Amelia quickens her pace. I don't mean visit the grave. I mean actually see the person again. Amelia creases her forehead. I guess we do at some point when we die ourselves. Jonathan hovers right beside her. She shivers. That's a long time to wait. And then there's no real guarantee you'll end up in the same place. Amelia steps away from Luther and stops walking. She opens her bag and pulls out one of her sweaters, removing the candle. As she pulls the sweater over her neck, Luther salivates over the sight of her exposed neck. Jonathan's alarm increases 100-fold. Think, Jonathan, think. There must be something you can do to get her away from him. Jonathan's eyes dart around the cemetery while he rakes his hand through his hair. How can his mind be so blank when Amelia needs him the most? As the stray dog dashes down the cemetery path towards them, an idea strikes Jonathan. He's never been the praying sort. Where is that incompetent Paco when you need him? There must be some way to summon him. Jonathan twists his eyes heavenward. Please help me make this work. Then he focuses intently on the little dog, harder than he's ever concentrated in his life, or death. For an instant, all is quiet. Then menacing barks fill the air. Who asked you, Yap Trap Shoe? The barks morph into growls, vicious growls. Luther backs away from the spitting, snarling terrier. He looks up at the spot where Jonathan had been standing a moment ago, now vacant. Luther's moment of distraction gives the dog the advantage he needs. The angry terrier lunges at him. He makes contact with his ankle, sinks his teeth in for all he's worth. Get off me, you mangy mutt! The dog tastes salt and pulls away. Blood trickles down Luther's leg. Luther's long arm swings down to swat the dog. His furry little body sails through the air in a high arc. Jonathan lands with a yip and a thud on a thick tuft of grass covering a nearby grave.